downtown Kansas City. Stang Law Firm PC is proud to become a sponsor of the Kansas City Comets. For more information, please visit stanglawfirm.com or call 855-805-0595.
How could I possibly be expected to go without Domino's on a day like this? Alexa, ask Domino's to place my easy order.
Ordering Domino's.
Life moves pretty fast. If you can't track your pizza, you could miss it.
Order 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each and track them on your favorite device.
Hanging out again at the Harvesters Fling for Food. Nate, get us a ball here. What ball? This is going to be the lucky number, 222. We're feeling 222. Harvesters Fling for Food. Make sure you guys pick it up. 1 ball for $2, 3 balls for $5. Harvesters Fling for Food. Your chance to win $100. It happens at halftime.
Put your hands together for the Comets Girls, presented by Expressions Dance Studio. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's meet your 2017 Kansas City Comets. From Buenos Aires, Argentina, number 10, midfielder, Lucas Rodriguez. From Trinidad and Tobago, the MASL Player of the Week, number 11, forward, Kyle Williams. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 16, forward, Andre Braithwaite. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 21, midfielder, Pat Kelly. From Santiago, Chile, number 23, midfielder, Nacho Flores. From Santiago, Chile, number 24, midfielder, Mirko Sandovari. From Kearney, Missouri, number 26, forward, Adam James. And from Glasgow, Scotland, number 19, defender, Troy McCarroll. And now for tonight's starters for your Kansas City Comets. From Monrovia, Liberia, number 3, defender, James Togba. From Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico, number 6, midfielder, Guerrero Pino. From San Jose, Costa Rica, the team captain, number 9, midfielder, Brian Perez. From Monrovia, Liberia, number 14, forward, Leo Gibson. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 22, forward, Anthony Grant. And from Wichita, Kansas, number 13, the Lawman, goalkeeper, Stephen Hammerski. Head coach of the Comets is Kim Rutfed. Assistant coaches are former Comets star Jeff Davis and Comets forward Leo Gibson. Goalkeeper coach is Alan Mayer. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's hear it for your 2018 Kansas City Comets.
From inside Silverstein Ice Center's arena, welcome in to Major Arena Soccer League action, where tonight the Comets with a record of 3-8 are going to host the Harrisburg Heat, who come in with a record of 5-8. Alongside Jeff Houston, I'm Nick Vassos. The Comets are coming off a come-from-behind road victory over the St. Louis Ambush, 11-9. Kyle Williams had a great performance, and the Comets are hoping to capitalize on their good recent play.
Yeah, I mean, he did all right. He scored 5 goals, including the game winner, and it was good enough to earn not only a spot on the Team of the Week for this week, but also he earned the Player of the Week, which is a big deal. It's the first Comets player this year to earn that honor.
Yeah, and it's important for the Comets to build on their success against St. Louis. It snapped a 5-game losing streak, and they're hoping to turn the tide here in the second half of the season.
Well, and right after that game, the locker room feeling was better than I've seen it in a long time, because the guys realize that they can actually do this. They can put together a whole game plan. They basically did it for 3 quarters. Now they just need to do it for that extra 4 quarters this game.
Comets welcome in the Harrisburg Heat to see them for the first time this season. They're a good team, and it starts with their backstop, Hugo Silva. Tell us about him.
Hugo's a big guy. As I'm looking at him right now, he's basically taking up the entire goal. But the thing that most people don't realize is he's very nimble. He gets down on balls. It's very tough to beat him far post because he can get down, and he's got that long arm reach.
Yeah. And we're going to see somebody who we've seen in past years. We're talking about the Heat's head coach, Dennison Cabral. He's going to suit up, the 18-year indoor veteran, Blast Hall of Famer. What can you tell us that hasn't already been said about Dennison?
I talked to him before the game. I asked him if he was suiting up tonight, and he said, yeah. And the joke was that he was talking to his assistant coach about he was trying to get more playing time from him. So Dennison's a great guy. He's kept up in shape. Obviously, he shows these guys what to do in practice a lot of times. And they're a little shorthanded. They've got some injuries, so he's there as an emergency. But he got some shifts last night in Cedar Rapids, so we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, we'll see if he's still got a few tricks up his sleeve. All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. It's the Comets and Heats coming up on Military Appreciation Night here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Stay with us on MASL TV. It is Military Appreciation Night here at the Kansas City Comets. Hi again, everybody, and welcome in Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. The Comets hosting the Harrisburg Heat. To every serviceman and women, past and present, in faraway lands and in harm's way, or here tonight with us, thank you for defending our freedom. Your service and commitment is what makes the United States the greatest country in the world. Alongside Brian Budzinski, I'm Nick Vassos. Great to have you here on MASL TV. The Comets 3-8, the Harrisburg Heat 5-8. Both teams coming off important victories. For the Comets, they won on the road last weekend in St. Louis and come from behind fashion, 11-9. That snapped a 5-game losing streak. The Heat have seemed to have been on the road forever, and they got a win last night in Cedar Rapids, 5-3. But for the Comets, Brian, Budzinski, it might be more important to build on that win they had last week to try to close the gap on Cedar Rapids, who's lost 4 in a row now.
Yeah, I mean it's a math thing, right, Nick? Okay, so the Cedar Rapids Rampage are now 6-8, coming off those consecutive losses. The Comets sit at 3-8, playing Harrisburg off a back-to-back. To say it's an important game, that's a complete understatement. This game, arguably for the Comets, makes your season. You go to 4-8 if you get a win here tonight, if you're fortunate enough to. Now you're in play for the playoffs. Everything matters now.
For the Harrisburg Heat, they win last night in Cedar Rapids, and that snapped a 3-game losing streak. That closed the gap on their second-place rival in Florida. And they have Hugo Silva in goal, and they also have this young guy, well, not so young anymore, but Denison Cabral. He's going to come back out on the field for the Harrisburg Heat, their head coach.
Yeah, I mean, Denison, great player in this league for a long time. We got a former Comet, Elmo Neto, out on the field. I'm excited to see how he does. Chantel's a strong player. Gonzaga, man, one of my favorite blast players from all time right here. Like, this is a big matchup, Nick.
And we are underway. The Comets are wearing special patriotic jerseys tonight that'll be auctioned off following tonight's game, and the proceeds are going to benefit Cars for Heroes. And if you need more information or want more information about Cars for Heroes, you can find them at carsforheroes.org. But when you take a look at these jerseys the Comets are wearing, you will want one. They are really sharp-looking jerseys for Military Appreciation Night here at the Kansas City Comets. Here's Harrisburg with the ball and a quick drive into Stephen Hammerski, who's getting his 4th start of the season. Stephen is 0-2 so far this year, 8.6 goals against average and a 56 save percentage. But Stephen hasn't played consistently over the last few days. Here comes Hammerski, drives one into Hugo Silva, and then Hammerski scrambles back to get on his line. Silva throws it long, and it's gathered up by Rodriguez. You think that makes Coach Runfed a little nervous here when Hammerski right off the start darts for the other team's yellow line?
There's a fine line. You want players to have confidence, but getting a little bit too deep right there, and if you're not making the shot, that's a long distance to recover right there, and so you just got to be smart about your decisions.
Here's a shot and a goal, and picked up there by Val Teixeira. And Teixeira pops on the Michael Jackson glove after the goal to celebrate. He's got the white glove there. You see him trotting off the field, and here he is, left basically all alone as it came down from a teammate.
Yeah, I mean, 2 things. You got Nacho and O'Dane both going on the same player. And Nick, how often have we talked about this? Just the Comets starting a game. I mean, where are we at? We're 1 minute and 20 seconds in, and you're giving up a goal. And you're giving up a soft goal at that, to be honest with you.
Teixeira, he nets his 6th goal on the season. Harrisburg would like nothing better than to sweep the Central this weekend. How about that for the Heat? That'd get them right back into the Eastern Division race. Harrisburg Heat, playoffs last year. Hugo De Silva, 10-5 for the Heat last year. Here's Togba, down to the corner to Braithwaite. Braithwaite battling in the corner, still has it there. Away from the goal, comes to Brian Perez, now back down to Braithwaite. Perez with 10 goals on the year. Here's Braithwaite. Braithwaite's got 6. Now near side it comes to number 6 in Guerrero Pino. Guerrero's been battling a sore toe over the last week or two. Guerrero lost it in the corner there. Harrisburg up towards the half line, and here come the Heat. Down the left side it comes. That's picked up by Ricardo Carvalho. He lost it. Comets take over, and we've got a whistle.
Got an injured Heat player. I think it's Duarte over there, I believe, up against the boards.
Leo Duarte from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
No, that's our friend Elmo Neto right there.
Ah, Mr. Neto. We know about him, don't we?
I saw the 5. I just missed the 7.
Elmo, oh, there he is, yeah. Of course, broke in with the Comets. Years in Baltimore, Syracuse, now Harrisburg.
Very personable player, great in the community. I'm sure he does a great job up there with Harrisburg. Very positive player in the locker room as well, and he can hold the ball, as we've seen up top. He's got a little salsa to his game as well. If you're a Comets fan, you don't want to see a lot of that tonight.
Good player.
Yeah.
Good player. Here's Sinclair, the Comets. Oh, Sinclair played it up to Anthony Grant, who left the area, picked up by the Heat, and here they come the other way, but the touch lets him down. That was Leo Duarte who lost it. Comets pick it back up, and there's Kyle Williams. He's the MASL's Player of the Week.
Yeah, Kyle, 5 goals. And they were quiet 5 goals, quite frankly, against St. Louis. I mean, if you're an Ambush fan, you're not saying any of those were quiet, but it seemed like he was able to do that just kind of in the flow of the game.
Here's Rodriguez. Wall pass to Sinclair, fired it in there. Silva made a pretty easy save. Leo Gibson going for the steal against Thiago Freitas. Heat hold on to it. There's Silva on over to Gonzaga. Bad pass, and the Comets pick it up. Down the right side, shot, goal! Comets tied. It's Anthony Grant. Good job there to work it around the horn and get the open shot.
Good short passing, fast ball movement. Kind of, there's a term, Nick, that people like to say when you watch the soccer game. Let the ball do the work, if you will, right there. And that's a perfect example. Leo, we'll see here on the replay. Leo gets that ball on the turnover from Gonzaga, as you alluded to, and Leo plays it early to Lucas, and Lucas just swings it around the horn real quick, lets the ball do the work, and finds Anthony right there on the back post.
Bud, that's Anthony's 7th goal in 7 games. This is the kind of potential you thought he might have.
Yeah, I mean, it's just taken Anthony just a little bit to kind of get going. There's been a lot of factors here. What I liked about his finish is, the ball comes over from Lucas, and he takes it as a one-timer, and it's a nice simple finish.
Now into the game here, the newest member of the Kansas City Comets, Andy James, a local product from Kearney, Missouri, and Benedictine College. Bud, tell us about him. You're excited about him being in the lineup.
Yeah, Adam James is like you said, is a Kearney high school product, all-time points leader, goals, assists. Every stat you got there. And then he went to Benedictine, played under Coach Miguel Rodriguez and John Sosa. Blossomed this last year to like a top 5 rating for Benedictine, and Coach Runtbed and Jeff Davis and Alan Mayer like what they've seen, and another young player, 22 years old, and we're expecting some big things out of him. The kid can fly. He can fly, and he can finish too.
We will also see another new kid out there, and that's Troy McCarroll. The Scot, he's making his debut here tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, Troy McCarroll's a player that's played overseas a little bit. We were waiting on some visa issues with him, and then right when his visa got cleared, he'd been sick with influenza, like it seems like half the city and half our team has been.
Teixeira trying to get it over to Freitas. Now picked up there by Kelly of the Comets. Comets wearing those patriotic red, white, and blue jerseys. Here's Kyle Williams, the Player of the Week. Try to split the defense, and foul called on Harrisburg. They don't agree, but the Comets are going to get it front and center, about 55 feet away from the goal. How about Kyle Williams? 5 goals. Is he the type of player that he's one of the players the Comets are looking to this year to kind of fill the gaps of the offense that's been missing?
Yeah, and Kyle, he came off of that real bad quad strain, right? I mean, it's not a strain is a tear, Nick, okay, right? I mean, they just use the term.
There's a drive by Rodriguez, and Silva up high to make the save.
They use the term strain, but I mean it's a partial tear of your muscle, and that your quad's a big muscle, and it's just I think it's taken Kyle a little bit to kind of get going, and now he's feeling himself, and then there you go. Look what you see. He had I want to say 2 or 3 goals a game prior to that. Now he's got 5. He's getting going a little bit.
Here's the Heat on offense. Made a play for Neto. Comets break it up, and they get it out to Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams now front and center. Left side for Nacho. Broken up by the Heat. Comets trying to win it back. Here's Kyle Williams with some space. Kyle, front and center. Silva pounces on it for the Heat.
A lot of patience you're seeing out of the Comets. I realized they gave up a goal early, and that was because 2 guys committed to 1 player when they should have been talking. And so the layoff was there. But what I like out of the Comets right now is a lot of possession. You're not rushing anything. Ooh, great take right there.
Francis hits the frame.
Great one-time take there, huh, Nick?
Dominic Francis. On up to Carvajo. On back to Silva. Silva 5-6 on the year. He's making his 14th start. He has 2 overtime losses. Comes up front and center to Carvajo. Then out of bounds, and the Comets will have it here with 8:14 left to play in the first. Yeah, a couple of games ago, Harrisburg had a really tough game on the road in Baltimore. They had a clear goal that was not recognized by the officials, and they ended up losing 4-3 in overtime. And with everything so close in the East, I talked to Coach Felician before the game. That was a real one hard to take there.
It's a tough one to swallow, Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, officiating in sports is what it is, right? I mean, and at this day and age with the Twitter and the replays and the fans just expect everybody to be perfect. But then there's the other part of it is Harrisburg, deserved to score a goal there, right? And so as a league, that's something that we have to look at and address a little bit better, whether it's goal line judges or some sort of technology and that kind of stuff, because you don't want to. If that ends up being the one game that Harrisburg misses the playoffs for, then it's doing them injustice and that franchise and the fan base injustice.
Official timeout on the field, 7:16 here in the first. We are tied at 1.
Honors in attendance tonight, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you for all you have done, all you are doing, and all you will do in the future.
Alongside Brian Budzinski, I'm Nick Vassos, live at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena, where the Comets and Heat playing for the first time this season and tied at 1. Military Appreciation Night here at the Comets. The Comets wearing those special jerseys that are being auctioned off here at the end of the game. There's newcomer there, Andy James.
Adam James.
Adam James.
He's a rookie. The rookies don't get the respect right off the bat, Nick. You got to actually accomplish something. You got to earn your name here in this league, Nick, whether it's with the broadcast crew, whether it's the opponent, whether it's your teammates.
Adam Jones. Neto in the corner. Taken away by Togba. Jones flicked it forward for Togba, who goes down, no call. He'd come away with it in their last third. They come out offensively. Lucio Gonzaga up to Francis, now to Shera. Here's Gonzaga. A line drive there caught by Hammerski.
Now, you've noticed a little bit with Gonzaga, he's wearing a captain's band here, and he's in the back. And I'm interested in watching the battle between Leo Gibson and Gonzaga, right? These are two guys that have been in the league for a long time. Gonzaga's, his game's kind of transition where he's in the back now permanently, where he was kind of a midfield second runner player for the Blast for all those years. And as the game's as he's kind of slowed down a little bit, he can sit back there and play in the back. And I'm just kind of interested to watch that. And for the fans, it's going to be, where's Leo Gibson at the end of the night when Lucio Gonzaga's on top of him and marking him versus when he's not.
Well, the position change has not changed his offensive effectiveness. He's the Heat's leading scorer and leading shot blocker.
Yeah, that's that's saying you're doing it, okay? When you're on both sides of the skill there.
Carvalho looking for Neto. Neto tracks it down on the right wing. Neto fires a shot blocked by Kelly. Then a left footer. Didn't get a lot of that one. It rebounds to the bottom of Kelly's feet, and he sends it across the half line. Comets are 3-8. The Heat 5-8.
Another thing that'll be interesting to watch, Nick, is, for the Harrisburg fans, is if Neto can get that target position right here.
There's a drive just above the crossbar. Comes off front and center. Under 5 to play in the first. We're tied at 1. Quickly out to Neto. Neto on the half line, marked by Pino, and a foul called on the Comets. Guerrero Pino.
Neto's at his best when his back is to goal. He's around the top of the arc, and you're playing into Elmo, and then he's able to play runners off to. He's not necessarily – he is a Brazilian player, and a lot of Brazilian players like to square guys up or face them up and try and clear out some space, and they go ISO. That's not Neto's game. Neto's game is more of a back-to-goal player, and then you run off of him, and he's very strong, and because of his height, just like Leo Gibson, it's hard to get the ball off of him. And so, can the Harrisburg Heat, can they get Neto in that position? Because if they can, then they're doing what they want to do. Can the Comets prevent him from getting in those spots?
Ball played up to Ben Pardue. And then taken away by Anthony Grant of the Comets. Grant still combing it forward, leaves it for Braithwaite. A trio of white jerseys around him. Braithwaite goes down. Both teams play on. Freitas. Forward it comes. Here's a shot and a save made by Hammerski. Francis.
That left foot's got some meat on it, doesn't it, Nick?
Dominic Francis from Huddersfield, England, with the left footer there.
First time we're getting to see a player like him, and I can already tell early he's got what's called a heavy ball. That thing starts coming off his foot. It's coming off fast in the first place, but then the pace of it is heavy.
Steal by the Comets. Sinclair in the middle. Somebody lost a shoe. Shot, goal! Leo Gibson right out front. The Comets have the lead 2-1.
Had to score right there if you're the Comets with that turnover, Nick. It didn't go as well as it should have. O'Dane played that ball back in, took too long on it when O'Dane should have probably finished it early. But good persistence on the Comets right there, and you get the finish. So see right here, Leo stays out. And now watch this ball. So Lucas plays the right ball to O'Dane. O'Dane's got to finish that. If you look, O'Dane's body is not – his hips aren't towards the goal. His hips are faced backwards. So you got to have one hip towards the goal, one hip coming from where the ball is, right? Both his hips are faced out. That's why he can't hit it. So he plays the cross, and then fortunately the pressure from the Comets allowed the ball to be finished there.
Great breakdown there. Gibson scores his 11th on the year. He is now the team leader in goals with 11, and O'Dane Sinclair, the assist, his 5th on the year. Comets lead 2-1.
We've got the lead. Let's make some noise.
Here comes Pat Kelly. Wall pass off the top of the dasher boards, and then ricochets into the right wing corner. Gibson back to track it down for the Comets. Leo, 5 blocks on the year for the former MVP. Chips it forward to Kyle Williams. Leo with 5 assists in that victory over St. Louis last weekend. For the assistant coach, for Kim Runfed.
Leo's points number is there. His goals aren't there, kind of what we're used to, but, and maybe I'm more biased with it, but you could make the argument that Leo's having an MVP type of season based off of all the new players that he's having to play around, and he's still getting those types of stats. It's at least from a Comets perspective, obviously he's an MVP level player.
He always seems to do what's necessary, whether it's score a goal, make an assist, help a teammate out. Perez with the ball for the Comets. Under 2 minutes to play in the first. Comets lead 2-1. Rodriguez Over to O'Dane Sinclair. Here comes Sinclair, circles back around across the half line. Forward to Braithwaite. Braithwaite double team, gets the ball back. Trying to back it in, now away from the goal to Sinclair. Front and center, Nacho Flores. Comets with possession here and patience. Heat with 5 behind the ball.
1 minute remaining in the first quarter.
And as you hear from Nathan Herron, 1 minute remain here in the first. Hugo Silva's got it. Hugo saves about 69% of his shots. Pat Kelly goes for the steal. Carvalho and Togba both give chase, and Togba goes into the boards and wins it. Now Togba looking forward to Kelly, but it's taken away by Gonzaga. Gonzaga leaves it for Carvalho. 26 seconds left on the clock. Now Gonzaga comes near side to Kerstetter. Back to Gonzaga. 12 seconds left. Chipped into the corner for Kerstetter. Correction, that was Pardue. Ball nearly goes out of bounds. Horn sounds, and that's it for the first 15 minutes. Comets with 2 goals, one by Grant, one by Gibson. Val Teixeira, one for Harrisburg, and that's it after the first 15 minutes. Kansas City 2 and the Harrisburg Heat 1. You're watching MASL TV on YouTube.
Prices is the official furniture and bedding store of the Comets. Check out the Shocking Prices Facebook page for special Comets promotions and specials. All right, folks, please welcome back to the field the Comets Girls, presented by Expressions Dance Studio. Put your hands together one more time for the Comets Girls.
All right, fans, let's go around the MASL. 5 different players scored for Harrisburg on the road, defeating Cedar Rapids 5-3 last night. Hugo Silva stopped 9 of 12, and the Rampage lost their 4th straight. Cedar Rapids' new head coach, Anton Chop, is 0-4 since being hired December 29th. San Diego stays undefeated, winning 8-3 at home against Tacoma. Craig Childs and Brian Farmer had 2 goals each. Soccer's 10-0. The Stars fall to 5-7. Ontario gets a road win, 7-6 over Turlock to improve to 6-6. They're second in the Pacific. The Express slows to 2-11. The King, Frank Tayu, scores the hat trick and adds an assist, leading Sonora past El Paso 11-10. 3 straight wins for Sonora, improving to 5-6, and the Coyotes lose their 5th straight. They fall to 5-7. The Ambush get a win on the road against the Tropics 7-5. Pablo had 2 goals and an assist, helping St. Louis get their 2nd win of the season. Florida still in 2nd place in the East. They fall to 6-6. And the Baltimore Blast have won 4 in a row now. A 5-4 overtime win in Syracuse, earns the Blast its 10th victory against 2 setbacks. 10 of Baltimore's 12 games have been decided by 2 goals or less. Syracuse now 1-3 at home, 5-5 overall. There's your update from around the MASL. 6 games in the league last night. How about a busy night Friday night? Here's Gibson deep in Heat territory. Leo with one of their Comet goals. Kansas City leading 2-1 over the Harrisburg Heat.
You know, I heard you say Frank Taiu, King Taiu. When does he not have a hat trick?
Good question.
Every time I look on Twitter, MASL feed, every time I'm on a Facebook page, the guy's box score, he's got 2-3 goals every single game. I mean, he's gonna score 70 goals back-to-back season.
I love watching him play. He is an amazing player. Here is the Heat. Carvalho tries to tee one up, and Togba got a piece of that one. Now sends it around the boards, and Hammerski's got it for the Comets, who's up and throwing to Gibson. Gibson and Gonzaga. Gibson's got it. Shot, save, rebound, save again. Silva did it twice.
That's just great defense right there by goalkeeper.
One other game in the MASL tonight, and it is a dandy. Milwaukee is on the road, or is that tomorrow night? No, that is tomorrow night. Milwaukee's on the road tomorrow night in Sonora. And then if they win in Sonora against King Taiyu and an avalanche of goals, Milwaukee will take on Monterey on Sunday at Arena Monterey. That'll feature the Flash at 11-0 and the Wave at 13-0, a battle of undefeateds. Game of the season so far, potentially Sunday.
You want to talk about a road trip?
Yeah.
A road trip. Let's go play down in Sonora in front of 5,000 fans, and then let's go turn around and play in Monterey in front of 9,000 fans. And they're all screaming at you, and they want to beat you with a stick the whole time.
Love it. Here's Adam James, newcomer. On back to Nacho. Now Kelly's got it for the Comets. 12.5 here left in the first half. Comets trying to get back-to-back wins for the first time this season. A win here, and they would close to within just a game of Cedar Rapids for second place in the MASL Central Division. And we're right about halfway. Leo Gibson.
Even if Leo Gibson wasn't 5'5", he's not going to get that pass that O'Dane Sinclair just played to him.
I don't know. Leo might have found some way, somehow. Marco Chantel. Silva. Silva chips it into the corner for Neto. Foul called on Sinclair on the back of Neto.
Yeah, initially they called it on Neto. It's like, listen, Neto doesn't even come up to O'Dane's hips. And O'Dane's hips, he's almost riding him like a pony. Good switch by veteran referee Ron Corey.
Restart here for Harrisburg, trailing by 1. Front and center, Dominic with a drive. Dominic Francis, that is. The rebound, score!
Goal, Harrisburg.
Dominic Francis, his third on the year, ties the game at 2.
Weren't we just talking about Mr. Francis?
Yes, we were.
Here's the problem. You see this on the replay. The Comets do a good job on the initial breakaway, or the ball. Look at this right here. Good job on the stuff by Leo. What does Leo and Lucas both do? They take off running.
And there you have it.
They both made the assumption that the other player or another player was going to deal with it. And that's I'm telling you, I like that strike that comes off the foot of Mr. Francis's foot. That left foot is strong.
Tied at 2, 11:36 left to play in the first half. Down to Braithwaite deep in the corner. Braithwaite away from the goal. That one touched by Freitas. Chantel over there battling Braithwaite. And a foul called on Andre. He got tangled up with Thiago Freitas.
I'd be doing the same thing on set pieces and having Mr. Francis be involved.
Yeah, every time.
I'd start designing a bunch of stuff, and maybe they will see how Harrisburg does with their sets, but I'd have that left foot involved early and often on set pieces.
Togba looking to get it to Braithwaite in the corner, and it just angles out of bounds and turns the ball back over to Harrisburg. Harrisburg averages 5.2 goals a game. They average giving up 5.9. Comets score 7 a game, and they give up 8.5 a game. Chantel. Pass across the line. Knocked away by the Comets. Here they come the other way. That one hit the post and goes out of bounds and turns it right back over to Harrisburg.
It's an unlucky bounce right there.
Yeah. Silva played it up to Francis, and he let it roll through. Comets take over. Hammerski right up midfield. Deflects on over to Kelly. Now Kelly out wide to Kyle Williams. Back to Sinclair. Hits it first time. Block shot. Rebound just wide. Sinclair tees up another one, but stuffed by the Heat defense. Rebound comes out to Neto. He and Pino give chase on the far side. Both players go down to a knee, dug out, and the Comets come back with it the other way. Ricocheted and Danny DePrima on over to Carvalho. Here's Carvalho on the right side. Slots it through to the far post. Shot, rebound.
Big save from Steve.
No good on the right out front. The bunny was missed. Was that Cabral on the doorstep there? Now a goal by Leo Gibson. And Leo comes up a little bit lame here. Leo.
Kansas City Comets.
I saw Leo when he went up into the air to try to get that ball on the just a couple of minutes ago. He reached down and grabbed what appeared to be his groin and then shot there by his right foot. He gets it in the goal, but he immediately came up sore.
Yeah, Nick, watch here on the replay with the shot with Leo. Okay.
Yep, see that?
He opens up to hit it with the inside of his foot. Okay, so what he's doing is he's making sure he places it where he wants it to be at, right? So if you're striking the ball with your laces, sometimes there's not as much control, but inside of your foot, you can have a little bit better control of where you want. So Leo knew, hey, I'm going to put the ball in the side net. He took a little bit off of it, but when he opened his hips to hit it there.
And at the other end, the Heat with an opportunity, and the Comets turn it aside. On the counter, here comes Anthony Grant. Stiff arms the defender away. Now another one joins in. He gets pressed up against the boards. Val Teixeira's over there, and a foul called on the Heat.
Yeah, we're going to see real quick here. You got Sean Doomer's head athletic trainers doing some work on the bench with Leo. So now you're going to be running twos up top with the rookie, Adam James, and Andre Braithwaite.
Harrisburg foul number 7, Teixeira, his first of the half.
Teixeira guilty of the foul. Adam James on the field now. The youngster playing his first major arena soccer league game. His first professional indoor game. Here's Gonzaga. James gets in front, wins the ball. Foul played it back to Togba. It's taken back by Gonzaga. The Heat have a 3v1. Here comes the Heat. Shot. Goal! It's Dominic Francis again, and the Heat tied at 3.
Good counterattack by the Heat. Valuable lesson the rookie's going to learn right there is you're playing a square ball across the middle, get the turnover, and then Gonzaga obviously plays it fast. Now look, so Nacho has to commit to Neto, right, to stop the ball. And then you see James is coming in there. There's that guy, Mr. Francis, by the way. I got a feeling we're going to call his name a couple more times tonight. The hustle's great by the rookie. Is working as hard as he can, but the point is those square balls across what is essentially almost your back line right there. You got to be careful about those, because if you don't, that's what the risk is not necessarily worth the reward, because that's the risk. Now you got a tie ball game when you were all over these guys.
Hammerski into the middle, and Rodriguez could not catch up to redirect it in front of Silva, who comes off his line and then calmly throws it on ahead. That one there is by David Meller, who knocked it out of bounds. Actually, they say it goes off of Sinclair, and the Heat will have it in Comet territory with 8:18 left to play in the first half. Actually going to be at the top of the arc here.
Yeah, bad turnover right there by O'Dane. He's trying to get engaged with the player, and then he toe pokes it, and he toe pokes it over the boards. What's the lineup we've got out here for the Heat, Nick?
So we've got Thiago Freitas on the ball, Gonzalez to the left. Now Gonzalez comes over. He takes it over to Carvalho, hits the woodwork. Rebound goes up and over the glass, and the Comets dodge a restart there.
Yeah, Nick, I mean, you're sitting there looking at Francis was not on the field for that set, so that's why I was asking you is you had Neto, you had Gonzaga on the left there, and obviously, Lucio knows, obviously he knows what he wants to do with the ball. But I don't know if from a personnel standpoint the Heat had what they wanted to have out there on the field. That might have been a good spot for a timeout.
Well, the Comets thought the ball went out of bounds. Comets get it back. Here's Pino. Forward to Braithwaite. Braithwaite still there. Shoots it. Andre scores for the Comets. They retake the lead. The big fella, his 7th on the year.
Very calm by Mr. Braithwaite right there. He waited out the forward. This is a great ball by Pino, by the way, here. Great ball by Pino. First touch is nice by Andre. Little slide step over there on Lucio. Pull the veteran down on the slide tackle, and then you make your decision. Where's the goalkeeper at? Right? And so that's a great move by Andre. The intricacies of that whole situation. The first touch from the ball from Pino, which is a great ball. And then side rolls that thing over there so he gets Gonzaga to commit. And then he picks out, hey, where's the goalkeeper at? And you're one-on-one as a forward, you'll take that all day long. Look at the intensity by Captain Brian Perez here in the huddle for the Comets. No Coach Jeff Davis, no Coach Kim Runfed, no Coach Leo Gibson in there. Brian Perez, barking orders.
What do you think he's telling his guys?
He's telling them to stay focused and stay organized.
House
I'm
to buy
sure
my
of
first Domino's store.
Because a lot of the mistakes
I built my store with my bare
are
hands.
self-inflicted mistakes
I
that
use
the
my
Comets are
college
doing
savings
right
to
here.
buy
This
my
game's,
store.
listen, these
It
guys know
means
what's going on
everything to
here.
me.
Okay, they've had all
we've
kinds of
decided to
adversities
tear
and
them
injuries and everything, but now, let's go, right? Got a great crowd out. You got a huge game. This is where if you're a member of the Comets or a member of the Kansas City community, this is what you're used to right here. Big games in this building. So Brian Perez is saying, hey, let's go. This is our house. Let's protect it. So the next 8 minutes are going to be interesting to me to see where this game could dictate a lot where it ends up at in the next 8 minutes here, Nick.
Both teams back out of the field. Heat will have the ball in the center circle. There's Andre Braithwaite.
I'd be smiling too if I hit a nice little calm goal like that one right there.
Andre back after 2 years away from the game. Couldn't be happier. And the Heat go back to work, and Anthony Grant almost comes up with a steal against the Heat. Chantel now plays it forward up to Neto. Now over to Thiago Freitas. Freitas had it knocked away. The Comets come away with it. And Grant plays it forward to Kelly. Kelly looking far post for Mr. James. It's played back towards the center line. Comets will go for some changes. James goes off. Leo Gibson back on the field now for the Comets. That's a good sign.
Huge sign, Nick.
Nacho. Forward to Kelly. Kelly turns and faces the defense. Now right side Perez. Brian Perez leaves it for Leo. Leo thought Brian was going to do a little give and go. And it's turned right back over to Harrisburg.
That play was broken down because both Nacho and Pat Kelly left the back post, and so Brian Perez and Leo had nobody to play to. There's 3 defenders on the same side that the 2 offensive players were.
Hammerski kicks it away from the goal. Neto drives it back into the left wing corner. Thiago Freitas trying to cross it to the far post. Right back to his feet. Now it comes near side. Leo Duarte. Now Gonzaga. Carvalho, Gonzaga. Front and center. Leo wins the ball from Gonzaga. Leo waits for some teammates. Plays it back to Nacho. Comets will go for some changes. Set up their offense.
Yeah, good organized play, and then Lucas right there gives the ball up for no reason.
Carvalho forward to Teixeira. Watch out, Teixeira tees up that big left footer, and it goes sailing up into section 109. Comets will have it with 6:02 left in the first half.
He missed that ball wide enough, and it was almost at our hotel partner Stony Creek Inns, almost at their front door.
Teixeira's been with the Heat since 2002 when Harrisburg was playing in the PASL. Last year had 6 goals and 4 assists. This year, 6 goals and 3 assists. He's also got a tally here tonight. In fact, Teixeira scored the game's first goal tonight. Forward it comes to Dominic Francis. He's got a pair of goals for the Heat and a late foul called against Anthony Grant. Our referees tonight are Ron Corey and Brian Martin. 5.5 to play in the first half.
That little play right there, Nick, I'll be interested to get some feedback from Mr. Ryan Stiggets. The Heat was trying to do a quick restart right there, and Anthony Grant was impeding him, and Brian Martin pulled that ball back.
Boy, another drive by Francis. The save is made by Hammerski, maybe his best of the night.
Steven's playing really good in net. His confidence is there. There's a lot of possession out of the back. He's looking athletic.
Comets have had 2 keepers this season, Steven Hammerski and Casey Gasson. Hammerski 0-2, Casey 3-5. Here's Braithwaite. Over the top of the field to Pino. Pino far post looking for Kelly.
Braithwaite trying to return a favor to Pino that Pino just did to Braithwaite right there.
Got a 3-line violation here against Harrisburg. The Comets will have it with just under 5 minutes to play right on the yellow line.
Comets make some changes right here. You got Leo Gibson, Brian Perez, Kyle Williams, Nacho Flores, and Lucas Rodriguez. Oh, see, Brian Perez, here's the thing, Nick. You see Francis coming late into play. Brian Perez wanted to get the offense set up, but he didn't realize he only had 4 Harrisburg Heat players on the field.
Brian tried to slot it through the middle, deflected away. Dominic Francis down the right side. Francis trying to cut it back. He shoots, and that one just wide. Boy, he got what he was looking for there. He got a left-footed shot there, but couldn't put it on target.
Dr. Neil Kelly, DDS, please offer his patients convenience.
Now,
Francis is a good-looking player, Nick. Good-looking player.
Best player on the field tonight so far. Although right now it looks like he's a little out of gas. He needs to go get some wind. In the corner is Kyle Williams. Pirouettes away from a pair of white jerseys, leaves it for Leo. Now Leo into the left wing corner. Rodriguez in for Perez. Out with it comes the Heat. Over to Francis across the half line.
Yeah, he's going to hold that ball up. You just alluded to he's a little tired right there. He's going to hold that up and get a line change.
Now to the far post. Shot save, Hammerski. Teixeira with another chance there. Turned aside by Hammerski again. That's back-to-back saves for the Comets keeper. That's looking good. Freitas by 2 Comets players. Shot save again, Hammerski. Freitas still going forward, and boy, Hammerski adding and increasing his save percentage right now. Anthony Grant looking to turn and run. Does he have anybody to run with? He's got it on the half line. 2 jerseys in front of him. He'll leave it back for Nacho. And down to Kelly. And Kelly will take down Gonzaga, and a foul called on Kelly. Pat Kelly, the Kansas City kid. His sister, Katie.
Katie LaForge now.
Yeah.
Katie LaForge now.
Recently got married. She directs the Avila ladies here in town.
She's in attendance just like all 19 Kellys are.
Ooh, a tough takedown there. Carvalho takes down the Comets legend Leo Gibson. And that's going to make a lot of Comets fans unhappy. Carvalho comes over and says something. And now Marcel Chantel giving an earful to Leo Gibson.
I don't know what Chantel's yelling at Leo about. Those guys, look how Neto's handling this situation. Chantel's on the bench getting into it. You see his coach right there. His coach saying, hey, you need to step back from the situation right here.
We've seen Denison Cabral on the field for one shift. Boy, David Meller, the big Englishman, just took down Kelly.
Game just all of a sudden got a little bit more physical right now.
Pino battling with Meller. Pino goes around Meller. Pino then bangs into Carvalho, and another foul called on the Heat.
Could have been 2 minutes right there on Carvalho. He's got to be careful right there. You could tell he was going to be late on the whole challenge.
Leo battling Gonzaga. Gonzaga won it, but the Comets take it back. Comets will go for some changes. Sinclair holds it for just a second. Rodriguez up to Leo. Leo shoots from downtown. That one off the plexiglass. Rebounds front and center, and here comes the counter. Neto down the left side with 2.5 to play. Fires one wide right. Rebound comes off to Carvalho. Plays it away from the goal. This one back to Duarte. Now over to Chantel, and then eventually to Silva.
Got a good ball game here, Nick, by the way. Two teams that both have an identity of what they want to do, a lot of possession. They're making the other teams have to defend for long stretches. It's just a mistakes game right now. Which team's going to commit the most mistakes? And can you capitalize when that team does?
Heat qualifying for the playoffs. Last year out front, it's Neto driving a pair in there. That second one wide.
What'd we say? Where's Neto at his best? Right there.
Exactly.
Just missed.
DePrima looking for Neto again. Pino is in the corner. And a nifty move there by Pino to get the ball out of harm's way. Silva bounces one back into the left wing corner. Kyle Williams is there, shields away Neto. Over to Pino. Now Pino up with it. And then the ball kicked across the half line and a foul called on Marcel Chantel. Marco Chantel, excuse me. There's the big Brazilian who's played in Baltimore, Syracuse, his third year with Harrisburg. Forward to Braithwaite. Now Grant holds it. Now Lucas. Lucas hits it first time. That one deflects off of Andre. 1 minute, 10 seconds left to play in the first half. Comets lead 4-3. Another whistle and a foul called on KC.
A lot of chirping going on all over the place, isn't it?
There's a lot of talking going on down there.
Referee Brian Martin.
No one's happy.
No, yeah, I mean both sides. You got Chantel and Andre getting into it here with Mr. Martin standing in between. Mr. Martin's like the slim piece of cheese in between those two big bruisers right there. I don't know if I'd feel too comfortable in there if I was him.
1 minute. 1 minute to play in the first half. Comets.
1 minute remaining in the second quarter.
Comets leading here by one. Gibson with a pair of goals for the Comets. Francis, a pair of goals for the Heat. Rodriguez trying to chip Silva. Comes off. Shot! Deflected high. I think Silva got a piece of that one. Wow. Back the other way. Gonzaga. And then Braithwaite takes it away. Can the Comets get another chance here? 20 seconds left. Rodriguez down the right side. Tries to center it into the middle. Broken up by Harrisburg. 12 seconds left. Togba saves Silva. 5 seconds left. Francis has it, and that'll do it for the first half. A flurry there. The first half, the Comets will take a 4-3 lead into halftime. What an entertaining first half between these two teams meeting for the first time tonight as we look at the Comets team captain, Brian Perez. What'd you think about the first half, bud?
Two evenly matched teams, two well-coached teams, very organized. Both teams kind of settled down, I felt, defensively, and then they try to get a lot of possession and just make the other team have to force mistakes. It was very entertaining.
We're standing by to hear from head coach Kim Runfed.
Serious trauma or illness, there are two medical specialists equipped to handle all of your health care and sports medicine needs. Stay at the top of your game with North Kansas City Hospital.
Let's send it down to Jeff Houston, who is with head coach Kim Runfed. Up, we're waiting for. Well, we're waiting.
Cameraman's joining us now. We got had to send a little page over, and all that. Now we're all ready, right?
I don't know if it's going to plug in.
I've got this one too. Which one? Can you hear me? Is it happening? Can you hear me? No?
We've got a giant mascot on a tiny little scooter and a way for you to win some money. What's going on, Nate?
Thank you, Nate. Appreciate that. Whoa, first time actually on the mic, so I apologize, you guys. But you know what time it is. This is now time for Harvesters Fling for Food, all brought to you by Sunfresh Groceries. And if you don't know the name of the game, my man Calvin over here is going to ride around the field 3 times. All you have to do is land one of your Harvester's balls in his basket, and you could be walking away with $100 cash easy. Calvin, if you are ready, let's get set. Go, Calvin, go! Brought to us by our friends over at Sunfresh Markets, Harvesters Fling for Food. And that'll do it. All right. 379. And 168 are our big winners. Make some noise for them. All with Harvesters Fling for Food. All thanks to our friends over at Sun Fresh Markets. Back over to you, Nate.
Thank you, Nate. Such a handsome name you have there, Nate. The Comets would like to say thank you to all the groups and special guests in attendance tonight. Welcome to all Winter Magic teams and champions. Welcome the Noise U16 girls. Welcome Summit Soccer Club Boys 01 Academy. MPFC Hotspurs Navy. SSC Chaos. Rest of the World LS. Futsal Tulsa 0506 Blue and 06 Red, coached by former Comets player Levi Coleman. Welcome to Jabali Revolution, Alliance Impact, Blackfire Strikers, SOFC Lincoln, white and black. Again, welcome as always to Team Fidelis.
can watch me on your video phone.
You want a video?
Can you handle it? Watch me on your video phone. You can watch me on your video phone. Video phone. I like how you approach me. Fresh right with your pants hanging room low. Everything you say is something good to me. No need to convince me anymore. Swag up is right. One blade is tight. And I smell your cologne in the air. Baby, you doing something right. You just canceled every other man here.
Let's hear it for the Devotion Dance Team. All right, we're going to turn it over back to Nate from Mix 93.3 with a very special halftime presentation. Nate?
That's right. Thank you, Nate. We're here with Cars for Heroes with Chris and Jeremy, a.k.a. Kool-Aid. I know I said I wasn't going to say Chris, but we have a special video that's going to show you what they're all about right there up on the billboards.
Cars for Heroes is a 501(c) charity that provides free basic transportation to active duty military, veterans, first responders, and their families.
Man, this is awesome. I am totally flabbergasted.
They receive these free, reliable vehicles with the hope they'll be able to use the gift as a tool to improve their lives. Each donated vehicle is evaluated and repaired, if necessary, to assure that they're mechanically sound and safe. For more information, find them on Facebook or at cars4heroes.org. Cars for Heroes is a 501(c).
All right, and my man Kool-Aid is going to say what's going on today, so I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you. Today, we have Patrick here and his family, Rita, Harper. Come on out here. You've seen in the video some of the families that we help. He is a Navy veteran, did a tour in the Gulf on the USS Eisenhower. For us Kansas people, we like that. And he was on the deck. And he ended up totaling his car on Christmas Eve. So he's without transportation, and he's one of the people that we usually help. He came here just thinking he was going to be honored for his service. But tonight, we're going to surprise him. Big boy, Rex from Sunfresh and Glad. We're giving you a car, man. Oh my God. We just seen a 6'7" guy cry. Hey, thank you for your service, buddy. And thank you. You can go to our website, carsforheroes.org, or the Facebook Cars for Heroes.
Thank you, Kool-Aid. And Patrick, we are not done. We have a very special video announcement up on the board for you.
Patrick, I hope you enjoy your new car.
Thank you for your service from Kansas City Comets. Woo! Yes.
Big thanks to Cars for Heroes, Patrick, and all of our Comets fans out there. And of course, Kool-Aid and Jeremy. Back over to you, Nate.
Thank you, and folks, don't forget that you can help support Cars for Heroes' mission by making a special auction bid in our silent auction until the end of the third quarter for the special jerseys that the Comets players are wearing this evening, and they look really sharp. Those are nice jerseys, let alone what they support. Head to the concourse behind section 107 and 108 to place your winning bid. All proceeds from the silent auction benefit Cars for Heroes, the organization you just saw help a veteran access a car and help all families and veterans and families get access to free and reliable transportation. Comets would like to wish a very happy birthday to a lot of folks in the house tonight. Happy birthday to Larry Pillman. Happy 50th birthday to Jeff Upton. Happy birthday to Robert Salick. Happy 13th birthday to Scott Jarvis. Happy birthday to Mala Jarvis. Happy 10th birthday to Brenna Fox. Happy birthday to my son Ollie's friend Liberty. It's her 4th birthday tonight. She's here in the house. And happy birthday to Army Sergeant First Class David Coulter. Thanks for spending your birthday here with us on Military Appreciation Night, brought to you by Glad and Sunfresh Markets. Tonight's media meal was provided by Fazoli's. Tonight's postgame player meal provided by Pit Stop Barbecue. Welcome back to the field, your Kansas City Comets.
Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos, back inside Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Our director tonight is Brad Zimmerman and his crew. Thank you to the crew here tonight, helping us out with the broadcast. The Comets lead 4-3 over the Harrisburg Heat. One other game going on tonight, and yes, indeed it is. In fact, the Milwaukee Wave in Sonora. That game is set to kick off in about 30 minutes at 9:05 Central Time. We'll have updates for you early on that contest, and then when this game is done here, you can switch over to MASL TV and watch the Wave and the Souls of Sonora. Hammerski out to Perez, to James. Now Grant, who shoots. Not a lot of pace on that one. Picked up by Gonzaga. Up to Freitas and back to Silva. Silva pretty steady, as he typically is, in goal for the first half. Francis has been the real star for the Heat. He has a pair of goals. Gibson has a pair for the Comets. Good save by Hammerski. Thiago Freitas hit it first time. Hammerski saw it all the way. And James back down the left side. James shoots. Save made by Silva.
Took that with his left right there, Nick, which was the good take. Anthony was making a run on the back door right there. Maybe could have looked back post with Anthony, but you want to take that shot early with the left, which is what he did.
Rodriguez forward to Kelly. Double teamed immediately. Back to Rodriguez. Now Flores on the doorstep. Rebound shot hammered in by Gibson. Leo, I guess the hamstring or groin's feeling fine. He has the hat trick, and the Comets a 2-goal lead.
Listen, that goal, Nick, that's going to be underappreciated, but the patience and the body weight, the control, if you will, to finish that ball was fantastic. Okay, so Pat Kelly's ball to Nacho was great. You get a little wall of score right here, right? Look at the patience and the body weight, right? He waited for the ball to come down to where he wanted to. Look at this ball. Lucas's ball to Nacho, excuse me. It was Lucas's ball. Fantastic. Wall of score on purpose by Nacho. But the weight and the body control by Leo, it's just underappreciated, the skill set that takes.
Walla Scora all day. Gibson now with 13 goals on the year. And for Nacho, that is his 10th assist. Nacho getting better as advertised this year. Flores now with 7 goals and 10 assists. Last year he had 5 goals and 6 assists.
Year 2, 30-game mark. We've talked about it a bunch, Nick. Where are we at right now? He played 21 games last year. 22, excuse me, into the playoffs. Okay? Where are we at? We're game 11.
Right there. Here's Hammerski. Hammerski hit some binocular action, and that one kind of tailed away at the last minute. Hammerski scrambles back. Meller trying to advance it across the line. Comets get it back. Braithwaite, look out. Braithwaite with a drive, and that heater goes just above the crossbar.
Todd Mitchell, the GM of Silverstein's Ice Center's arena, saying, don't break that plexiglass right there.
Maintenance standing by. Heat into the corner. Neto chases it down for Harrisburg. Sinclair has got a mark on Neto. Braithwaite around the back of Neto and is called for the foul.
Anthony foul number 16, Braithwaite, his first of the half.
Restart coming up to Harrisburg. Thiago Freitas now front and center. Gonzaga hits it first time. Then Neto going for the bicycle as he was falling down.
You don't want Lucio to get a wind up like that. Comets are actually fortunate, quite frankly. Lucio didn't put that ball on the top right shelf.
Thiago to Neto. Back to Thiago. Harrisburg with some possession here. Down to Neto. Sinclair is there. And then Rodriguez digs it out of the boards. Lucas challenged by a pair of white jerseys and the Heat on the half line. Able to get it over to Flores, who's chopped down by Gonzaga.
Great work by Lucas Rodriguez in the corner, man. He's got two guys all over him. Unbelievable.
This is Leo's 19th hat trick, which is a club record. That coming from our historian, Mr. Brian Holland from Hot Winter Nights.
Is there a record that Leo Gibson does not have, Nick?
Good question. I think Leo's, if one of them was going to fall, it might be Leo's power play goal record that he set in that magical year. Was it 3 years ago? Where he had every record, goals, points, power plays in a season. That guy in Milwaukee, Ian Bennett, is scoring goals and power play goals at a clip that you wouldn't believe.
He's scoring goals while he's sitting on the couch at home.
10.5 to play in the third. I want to say the power play goal record is 16, set by Leo Gibson. James with it right at the top of the arc, gets it over to Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams coming off a 5-goal game last weekend in St. Louis. Delayed call here. I think a foul is called on the Comets' Kyle Williams.
Yeah, Kyle had the bad touch, turned it over, and then immediately went and, tried to recover it, committed the foul, and then rightly so. Referees let the advantage play, but when the ball didn't connect with the Harrisburg player, you reset it.
Freitas forward to Dominic Francis. Gonzaga. Freitas chopped down there by O'Dane Sinclair.
O'Dane's got to be careful. That could have been 2 minutes right there, Nick.
Now a long drive. That one off target. Rebound comes to James. Into Sinclair. Comets trying to get it out of their last third. They go over the half line. Down to Kyle Williams. Williams is down there all by himself with 4 other Heat players. Williams cuts it back in. Centers it into the middle. And then Anthony Grant chasing it at the last minute. Couldn't get it. Now here comes Gibson with a drive. That one deflected. And a right footer there by Rodriguez goes high. Another one in there by Gibson. Another try misses. Anthony Grant and Gibson there knocking on the doorstep for the Comets.
It's 5 shots in 5 seconds right there, all over the goal. If you're a Harrisburg Heat fan right now watching at home, you have got to be happy. It's 5-3 right now after that little series.
Good pass by Hammerski to Pino. Pino to the far post, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Knocked out of bounds by who?
Chantel.
Francis.
I'm
telling you, that stuff right there doesn't show up. It might give it a block. Hopefully our group Sparkers, the great statisticians that we've got.
Here's a restart by the Comets. Perez puts it on target. Silva makes the save. DePrima trying to clear it away into the middle by the Comet shot. Goal! Anthony Grant! The Comets kept the pressure on, and the Heat finally cracked. It's 6-3, Kansas City.
Anthony Grant, that man you referred to a little bit earlier, Nick. Look at this. So the Heat can't get out of their own end right here, okay? So now this ball right here, immediately Leo pounces on it. Great one touch by Lucas.
What a touch by Lucas.
Great vision by Lucas Rodriguez right there. And here's the thing, for like a lot of young players watching this, Lucas does not have a perfect pass or a perfect touch on that pass, but that's not the point. The point is to make sure you get something on the ball to redirect it towards your teammate and not allow that. A lot of players would take 2 touches right there, and that would allow the defender to close onto Lucas, and then potentially he can't play that ball. That's just a high-level, intelligent play by Lucas Rodriguez to give Anthony Grant an opportunity to score a goal. And Anthony, that's now number 2. Am I correct?
Absolutely. It's Grant's 2nd of the game, his 8th on the year. It's Lucas's 2nd assist of the game and his 6th of the year. And the Comets have built a 3-goal lead over the Harrisburg Heat. Into the corner to Teixeira. Out Teixeira battling there with Togba. Togba wins it for the Comets, leaves it for Williams. Williams says clear out. He and Hammerski will bring it up. Up to Togba, who's pushed from behind. And both teams play on. Harrisburg takes over. David Miller trying to settle the bouncing ball. Hits it on the volley, and it goes out of bounds. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside with 7:35 left to play in the third. Comets 6 and the Heat 3. You're watching MASL TV.
All right, Comets fans, it's time for the Domino's delivery of the game. One lucky Rose about to get some free pizza thanks to our good friends at Domino's. Calvin has made his way up. He's facing the wrong direction. Section 113, row N. Section 113, row N. Congratulations. Enjoy that delicious pizza from our friends at Domino's. Tonight's official attendance at Silverstein Ice Arena, 4,221. Thank you for being a part of Military Appreciation Night, made possible by Glad and Sunfresh Market.
There you heard from Nathan Herron, our public address announcer. 4,202 tonight here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Thank you all for being here tonight with the Comets, who have built a 6-3 lead over the Harrisburg Heat. Coach Kim Runfed, pretty intense over there in that last media timeout. Comets have come out well here out of the halftime, in which they led 4-3, and they've added a pair of goals here in the third. One by Gibson, who now has 3 on the night, and the other by Anthony Grant, who has 2 on the game. Hammerski. Oh, Hammerski almost gave it away to Freitas. Now Sinclair. Back to Rodriguez. Here's Lucas walking it in. Lucas leaves it for Pino. Back to Lucas. Rebound comes off to Gibson.
Good take by Pino right there. Early with that left foot. Ton of pace on it.
Now Lucas again to Gibson. Gibson fires it in there. Save made by Silva. Hugo had to go down low to get that one off the foot of Gibson. Now right side Pino. Pino, could not get by Neto. Here's Neto playing it away from the goal, and it's held in by Sinclair.
Harrisburg can't get out of their own end. Comets have got them pinned down, so they're only letting limited line changes for Harrisburg, and then they're trying to high press. It's a dangerous combination if you're a Harrisburg Heat fan.
Here's Anthony Grant. Now Nacho looking for the corner. Picked up there by Gonzaga. Near side for Freitas. 5 minutes and 49 seconds left to play in the third. Comets a 3-goal lead. Harrisburg with some possession time here. Forward to Thiago Freitas. It gets through Hammerski.
A final reminder that the Comets are holding
Touched it on up and then knocked out of bounds. Off the Comets there. Adam James knocked it out. Newcomer Adam James getting significant playing time here in his debut as a professional indoor player. A product from Kearney High School and Benedictine College. He's high-pressuring Silva there. Silva releases it up to Gonzaga. Gonzaga looking far post to Carvalho. Comets defense knocking the ball away, but it ends up back at the feet of Kerstetter. And then eventually Gonzaga and back to Silva. Changes for both teams. On comes Denison Cabral, their head coach, playing tonight. Doesn't have his uniform out there. It doesn't say Cabral on the back of it. It's got 23 on there, but that's Denison Cabral for sure. Now Perez. On up to Braithwaite. Braithwaite trying to cut back in. Cabral shoots it wide. Braithwaite.
That ball. It's a heavy ball, Nick.
Oh, my gosh. Now Flores to Perez. Back to Nacho. Wide to Williams. Now Togba. Comets. A 3-goal lead. Perez has it on the left wing. Francis knocked it away. Dominic Francis with a pair of goals for the Heat tonight, as well as several good defensive plays. Comets chase it in their own left wing corner, actually Harrisburg's left wing corner. And Francis shoves down Kyle Williams, and a foul called on the Heat. Heat 5-8, Comets 3-8.
Both these teams, to me, Nick, don't look like teams that are under 500. Obviously, both teams have lost a couple tough games, close matches, but both these teams are very organized. You just tell there's a solid philosophy from both teams, and it's just you made mistakes, and then the teams capitalized there. But it's a very, very well-played game.
Heat out shooting Kansas City 16-14. Everything's pretty even. Kyle Williams, front and center, leaves it for Nacho, now Togba. James Togba. He's from the same country that Leo Gibson is, Monrovia, Liberia. Now left for Hammerski, a Wichita native. On over to Guerrero Pino. Back to Stephen Hammerski, looking for his first MASL indoor win. Comets good possession here, approaching 3 minutes to play in the third. Up by 3. Forward to Anthony Grant. Grant far post shot! Oh, Leo on the doorstep, missed it. You never see that.
Wow. Wow, Nick.
What a great way the Comets worked to get that chance, only to not finish. Meller to Teixeira. A little bit behind Teixeira, and Pino is there to kick it away. Held in by the Heat. Into the middle, Meller. Over to Teixeira. Shot save! Hammerski. That looked promising for Harrisburg. Back the other way come the Comets. Here's Kelly. Kelly for the far post. Shot blocked by the Heat. And a foul called on Harrisburg.
I'll tell you, an unsung hero in this match for the Comets is Guerrero Pino, playing a great game. That ball that he played up to Anthony Grant was early. Anthony went backdoor to that ball. Leo Gibson, you said you'll never see him miss that shot right there. You'll never see it.
Harrisburg foul number 4 to Prima, his first of the half.
Getting another look at it here. There's Anthony, or actually Kelly.
Good. What a ball, huh?
Oh, that was a great ball.
The backdoor run by O'Dane was fantastic. Pat Kelly found him. I mean, that's good soccer right there. O'Dane maybe just overran it just a little bit right there.
Well, only one other game in the MASL tonight. Of course, that is south of the border. Sonora hosting the undefeated Milwaukee Wave. The Wave's 12-0 start, the best in their franchise history. Tonight's game is the first of 2 for the Wave south of the border. If the Wave can withstand King Taiyu and an avalanche of goals tonight down there in Sonora, they'll be undefeated to take on the Monterey Flash, who are also undefeated. Could be a pair of undefeated teams tomorrow afternoon. 13-0 Wave and 11-0 Monterey tomorrow afternoon in the game of the season. MASL TV will have the call for you. Follow all the MASL action on social media, on Facebook, at Major Arena Soccer League. Follow on Twitter at MASL Arena. And follow on Instagram at MASL. 6-3 our score. Kansas City on top of the Harrisburg Heat. Coming up for the Comets, their next game is going to be on the 19th. Correction, the 20th. The 19th at Baltimore. In fact, both these teams are going to play Baltimore next weekend. The Comets will play Friday night at SECA, or SECA, S-E-C-A. Here come the Heat down the left side. Here's a shot and a save made by Hammerski. That keeps the score 6-3. Here come the Heat again, looking to the far post. And Togba and Rodriguez team up to make a nice defensive play and keep Kansas City leading by 3 goals. Meller drives one in there. Out comes Rodriguez and the Comets.
DiPrima did a great job on that shot. He took it early and right. It just, Stephen Hammerski came up great. Got to come up big right there, Nick. That was a big save. 6-4 with this amount of time left, it's a different ball game.
And as we usually say at this time of the juncture of the game, the next goal is huge. As you pointed out there, Leo Gibson, some fancy footwork, couldn't get it around Gonzaga. Heat take over with 1 minute to play in the third.
1 minute remaining.
Still a long way to go here. Comets trying to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. Freitas. Oh, Freitas, bad pass. Picked up by Grant. Here's Grant, hit the post, ding dong. Oh, Margaret. That could have been huge. Rebound comes off to the Heat. Now Francis, 26 seconds left in the third. Neto goes down looking to draw the foul. Ron Corey says both teams play on. 10 seconds left. Hammerski up to Pino, 5. Shipped into the corner for James. Away to Togba, horn sounds. And through 3. The Comets lead the Harrisburg Heat 6-3. Fourth and final frame is coming up. Glad you're with us on MASL TV.
Of 3 lines with Nick Vassos.
Hey there, Comets fans. Nick Vassos, voice of the Comets, and we are going. Hey there, Comets fans. Nick Vassos, voice of the Comets, and we are going 3 lines this time around with Nacho Flores. Are you ready to go, Nacho?
I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to start here with your name here, and we're not going to be. It's not going to be Nacho Flores. No. It's going to be Ignacio Esteban Flores Garay. That is your full name, right?
Yeah, that's my full name.
Yeah, how did I do? How did I do there?
You did well.
I did well?
Yeah, that was very good.
Okay, I want to know, are you familiar with an Ignacio Flores who plays for Cruz Azul?
I've heard about him, but I really don't know much about him,
really?
To be honest.
Are you familiar with Nacho Flores, who's a YouTube star?
No, I didn't know that.
No, he is an aerialist. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, you got to get on YouTube and you got to check that out. You are the youngest of 4 children. You're from Santiago, Chile. Exactly. Tell us what life was like back home.
Oh, it was amazing. Family, it's everything for me.
Yeah?
Mom, my dad and mom got divorced when I was little, but I still have contact with my dad. We're very relationship, but we're very close to mom. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and we're very, very close. We love each other, and I miss them a lot.
Yeah. You came to the States here. You landed at Park University. You played for former Kansas City indoor player Ephraim Shimless. There have been so many players who have come through the Park University pipeline. Come around here, Mr. Nacho here. Tell us about what it was like for playing for Coach Shimless.
It was amazing. It was great. Coach went all the way to Chile to pick me, offer me on a scholarship, and he did everything for me here. He offered me a scholarship. He gave me everything I had in college, and that was great. He's a great coach, great person, and I'm so thankful for Coach Ephraim.
That is a great story. And we've seen so many players who have come from Park University to now to play for the Comets. What do you think the connection is there? And why do you think Coach Shimless is so successful at transitioning players from college to professional ranks?
Well, his recruiting is focused on technique and if you see the players that came to Comets, they're all very good technically, you know. So that's the most important thing, I think.
Yep. You have been, you've gotten some awards this year for playing well. It seems like you're comfortable out there on the field. How do you think the season's going so far for you personally?
Well, personally, I think it's going well. It could be better. And for me, it's always about the team. So when the team is not doing very good, it's hard for me to be happy, you know, because I want to win with my team. But I feel confident. I feel that the team.
Nacho and Nick have got a lot to say. If you'd like to check out the entirety of that.
To watch the entire 3 lines with Nacho Flores, go to the Comets Facebook page and you can watch the rest of that. You definitely want to watch the ending of that interview, because Nacho Flores gives you a taste of just what a fun, loving guy he is. And we're talking about singing. Very fun. Fourth quarter underway. Comets take a 3-goal lead into the final 15 minutes. And the high pressure is coming from Harrisburg here, who are having to chase the Comets. And they get a turnover here near the midfield stripe with Gonzaga behind the ball.
Very important first 5 minutes, Nick, in this fourth quarter is can the Heat get that all-important goal to come back within to 2? Or can the Comets extend their lead? You know, a 4-goal lead compared to a 3, it's just a big difference. We know what can happen, how quick a game can turn in indoor soccer.
The Heat are going to have to stretch their game trailing by 3. That'll provide some opportunities for the Comets. We'll see if Kansas City can take advantage. Denison Cabral is back out on the field for Harrisburg. Harrisburg in white, Comets in those patriotic red, white, and blue jerseys. Military Appreciation Night here at the Comets. Those jerseys, fans are bidding on those jerseys, and the proceeds will go to Cars for Heroes. A veteran walked away with a car tonight here at halftime. Carvajo, front and center to Chantel. Chantel tees one up, and that one banged right off of Comets newcomer, Adam James.
Comets are sitting 5 guys behind the ball, Nick. That's what this is right here. So the highest player is literally 2 yards over the 3 line.
Teixeira in the corner. Hits it up to Chantel. That one by Leo Diarte. Now rolled in there and kicked away by Hammerski of the Comets. Adam James, a leading pass up to Anthony Grant. Silva off his line. Comets get it back, and Braithwaite tried to angle a pass to Grant and goes right to Silva.
2 passes were off. Adam James's ball to Anthony Grant was too far ahead. Andre's ball too far in front of Anthony, and it went right to the goalkeeper for Harrisburg.
Clock is rolling. Comets lead by 3, and Gonzaga trots it across the half line. On over to Thiago Freitas. Now right side, Neto.
So, Nick, I want you to watch something right here. You've got 2 Comets players. You got Kyle Williams at the top of your screen. You got Andre Braithwaite. Both these guys do withdrawn pressure, okay, but they sit above the 3 line. But when the ball goes to one guy on either side, the left or the right, Lucas Rodriguez or Nacho Flores jumps on that player. So watch. Right now, Gonzaga's got it. Andre's pulled back. Now, ball goes in the corner to Neto. What happens? Close down.
There it is. The Comets trying to knock it free.
So Harrisburg's got the ball. What happens? Ball's dropped back. 2 players are. Same thing. Now, boom. There you go. Goes to Neto. Look, what does Lucas do? Quick. So who can move the ball the fastest? Who can break you down off the ball? Who's going to lose somebody? There's your goal.
Meller with a chance there, and he couldn't put it on target. Now to Prima. Front and center to Gonzaga. 11.5 to play. DePrima goes off. Changes for Harrisburg. Thiago. Over to Marco Chantel. Now Silva.
Silva's almost playing de facto 6th attacker right now, Nick.
There's Silva. Silva's got a goal and 3 assists, and a save made by Hammerski on the drive there by Dennison Cabral.
From the Llama, Stephen Hammerski.
Restart coming up here to Harrisburg. Carvajo behind the ball. Ricardo broke into the league in 15 with the Chicago Mustangs. Leaves it back. Now a wall pass comes to the feet of Braithwaite. Braithwaite avoids Carvajo. Wall pass to himself, but Ricardo gets it back and leaves it. Here's a shot off the foot of Duarte. That one wide. And the Comets break out with it. Here comes Braithwaite down the right side. Braithwaite leading pass to Sinclair. Could not put a boot on it. Good pass, though. Carvajo up to Dominic Francis. Francis with the left footer off the near glass. Rebound comes off to Gonzaga, who corrals it for the Heat. Now front and center, DePrima. Left side, Freitas. Now DePrima takes it first time. That one easily taken by the Comets. Guerrero Pino. Now forward to Pat Kelly. One bounce, and it goes in! Wow, Comets now up by 4. What happened there, bud?
You know, Silva, I think, wasn't judging the bounce as well as he should have, and he came out too high, kind of got in no man's land. You're going to watch this ball gets played up here, right? So Pino gets out of the tight spot. 3 Harrisburg players, 4 in your screen. BP early, 1 touch up, right? BP's shooting the ball.
Oh, wow.
BP on purpose is shooting that ball right there. But Silva, for whatever particular reason, is watching Pat Kelly versus the flight of the ball. And so then he puts himself in this bad situation where he's trying to engage with Pat Kelly, and the ball doesn't even need to go there. Ball's going in the goal right there.
Perez, his 11th on the year, and for Pino, that's his 5th assist. 7-3, Comets over the Heat.
Sunfresh Markets are the official grocery stores of the Comets. Saving you money by offering everyday low prices at hundreds of
Through 3 quarters
Sunfresh Markets are where you get the fresh stuff.
and nearly 6 minutes of the 4th here, the Comets have put together their best effort of the season so far, or one of their best efforts. There's Togba, who gets hit in the face, and a penalty's coming up against Gonzaga. Gonzaga got his elbow up and went right into the face of James Togba of the Comets.
A player like Gonzaga, I'll just say it, Nick, that's disappointing.
Now Val Teixeira has just been sent off for 5 minutes.
A reminder that when the Comets win, you win. Thanks to our good friends at Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream and Sunfresh.
Sean Demures comes out to take a look at James Togba. James Togba, first year with the Comets, attended high school in Tennessee. This is his rookie season.
All right, so watch right here. So Togba plays the ball. Look at that elbow.
Oh.
That's an ejection, quite frankly, to be honest with you, Nick. You get to see this replay here from our production crew. He's got one.
The league will look at that,
yeah,
and I have a feeling he might be suspended for a game. That was a
So look, so Togba's got the ball, so watch right here. So Gonzaga knows he's going to cut. He knows he's beat. So he sticks his leg out to foul and his elbow. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you, why it's not an ejection. That's a red card. If that's not a red card, I actually don't know I don't know the game of soccer. If that's not a red card, look at this elbow right here.
He's not even playing the ball. He's just taking him out.
That's a red card. I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised that if that's not a red card, Nick, I mean, I'll just say it. Then I don't know what I'm doing. You have a player literally putting his elbow up
into the head.
He's striking a player. That's a red card. That's the definition of a red card. And then, I'll say it as well. Referee Brian Martin's right there. Referee Brian Martin should be calling that, or the third official should be calling that a red card.
Well, as it stands, the Comets go on the power play. And for the year, the Comets not so great on power play, although they're getting some work done here. 26% on the year for power plays. Ball loose out front. Rodriguez can't pounce on it. 1 minute and 30 seconds on the advantage. Now for Harrisburg, they've killed off 78% of their man down situations. So here's Leo. His pass deflected and won by Harrisburg. Harrisburg has only allowed 4 power play goals, 18 times that they've been a man down. Comets press forward with their power play. Comets have only scored 5 power play goals this season on 19 chances. Again, that's 26%. They lead 7-3. Broken up by the Heat. Here comes the Heat the other way. Duarte out wide, shot, save, Hammerski. Boy, Steven Hammerski's been sharp tonight. He's looked very good in goal for the Comets. 19 seconds left, maybe one more chance on the advantage for the Comets. Gibson to Nacho. Nacho in the corner to Rodriguez. 9 seconds on the advantage. Into Leo. Gibson tripped up. And a chance here for the Comets. That easily could have been 2 minutes as well. But it'll be a restart at the top of the arc. Comets 5 seconds on the power play. Pulled back for Kyle Williams and then blocked. Penalty is over. And both teams now even strength. Gibson still battling in the corner. Heat. Get it. Play it out to Pardue. Pardue run over by Kyle Williams, and the Comets win it back. Leo trying to steal it away from Chantel. Comets lead by 4. You wonder if Denison Cabral and Lester Felician, Gino DeFlorio, the coaching staff for the Heat, were considering the 6th attacker here in the next few minutes.
You got too soon, or Silva's got to play up higher. But obviously we've seen what happens when he gets really high. You've misjudged that ball. If the ball's getting played, you're better off just having a field player here. Maybe Cabral or Chantel, I would think, would be your 6th attacker. I know this. I'd have Mr. Francis sitting on the right side of the post. Whatever formation I was doing, I'd have Mr. Francis on the right there.
Here's the Heat. Walking it in there, that was Thiago Freitas with a couple of chances. Comets back on the counter. Anthony Grant down the left side. Works his way back into the middle, leaves it for Pino, who heels it into the far post. And Val Teixeira is there to knock it away. Neto sends it forward to Freitas.
Yeah, Troy McCarroll making his rookie debut, number 19 here in the 4th quarter in the back. That's because Tagba obviously has got to have some sort of concussion. Coach Runfed's not going to be playing him. So Troy McCarroll, as a rookie, the Scotsman, comes in and plays defense. Another rookie playing in this match.
Timeout on the field. 6:09 left to play in this game. We will be right back.
All right, Comets fans, we've got all of our jersey auctions in. We will announce them immediately following the game. To collect them, if you hear your name after the game, so you got 6 minutes in regulation here to go. If you hear your name, please come down to the Simmons Bank post-game autograph session. You can come right here to the announcer's table. We'll be handing them out. You get in the line. We'll get all your details down, and we'll get your jersey to you. Thank you to all those who not only bid, but those who won for supporting Cars for Heroes. We all saw the great work they are capable of doing here at halftime. We appreciate having you here at the game and supporting Cars for Heroes this evening. The Kansas City Soccer Dome has been serving the soccer community for nearly 35 years, and they're proud to be the official training facility of the Comets for over 20 years. Visit them on the web at kcsoccerdome.com. Select Physical Therapy is the official training, physical therapy, and sports performance partner of the Comets. When daily life is altered due to an injury, accident, or chronic medical condition, Select Physical Therapy can help get you back to the activities you enjoy. Visit selectphysicaltherapy.com to find a location near you.
.609 left to play in the game, and the Comets leading 7-3 over the Harrisburg Heat. Glad to have you here on MASL TV. Leo Gibson's 19th career hat trick. That's helped Kansas City Comets to a 4-goal lead. And as you heard there from public address announcer Nathan Herron, Thiago Freitas is now wearing the Heat's 6th attacker jersey. 5:57 left to play in the game. Freitas to DePrima. Now Freitas. Thiago tries left side. Dominic Francis lifts it to the half line. Now Neto. DePrima. To the corner. Wall pass, I should say. And cleared away.
It can't be a wall of score if it doesn't go in.
Good point.
Right?
Good
Let's not.
Don't get ahead of yourself here.
I'm sure the Harrisburg Heat fans would love that. And if you're calling those ahead of time like that, let's go get a lottery ticket. Or let's head down to our friends down at Harris Casino. Put something, put 50 on black.
Anthony Grant, we just saw him there. He's got a couple goals tonight. Harrisburg's long road trip is going to come to an end. They'll be back home on Friday, January 26th, after playing their last home game back on the 16th of December. And that was a 6-5 win over Baltimore. Corner kick coming up to the Heat here on just under 5 to play in the game. There's Leo Gibson. He's got the hat trick tonight. Cabral to Francis. Blocked by Leo. And then Gibson kicks it down the length of the field. Chasing it down there is Freitas. And Pat Kelly called for the foul.
Kansas City foul number 21, Kelly, his first of the half.
Four and a half to play. Time ticking away for the Heat. There's Freitas with a drive. Now Carvalho. Oh, on the doorstep. Rebound, header. Goal, Harrisburg. It is Denison Cabral getting his first goal of the season. The head coach there brings the Heat to within 3.
Comets are just getting knocked on the door right there by Harrisburg. That should have been a goal right here. Misses the top. I mean, Carvalho missing that bunny right there. And then, the Heat's fortunate. I mean, he misses that goal and the ball goes right to Denison Cabral. And Denison obviously, he knows what he's doing around the goal. He's going to go ahead and put in that free bunny. 7-4, Nick.
3 goals. And you've got 4:05 left to play. So Silva is in.
Looks like Togba just stepped back in onto the field right there, number 3 for the Comets. I'm surprised, to be honest with you, Nick.
Togba is back. Silva still out there. Silva just waiting for a chance to run off the field so Freitas can come back in as the 6th attacker. There's Silva. He runs off. Freitas comes on. 3:48 left to play in the game. Comets lead by 3. Can the Heat come back? Here's Francis. Francis shoots, and that one just wide. Front and center, Freitas. Over to Francis again. To the corner, Cabral. Wall pass. Shot blocked by Togba.
Great play by Togba.
Freitas. DePrima. Wide right. And then Togba. Oh, hits the top of the dasher. Runs back towards the midfield area, and Braithwaite called for the foul on Freitas.
You know, Andre bailed him out, actually, to be honest with you, right there. He could have just allowed that pressure and having Freitas have to deal with that. He didn't need to get engaged that much physically. That's a very stressful situation for a non-goalkeeper to deal with.
Could have made a mistake, and Andre could have pounced on it right there in front of the goal. Under 3 to play, and the clock becoming more of the enemy of Harrisburg, second by second. Left side, Neto. Freitas front and center. DePrima with a drive out of bounds.
That was high. Berserk Athletics is a homegrown
2:34 left to play in the game. I've just been handed a note here that the all-time Kansas City indoor hat trick record is 22 by Clovis Simas of the Kansas City Attack. It would be 22. Let's see here.
Timeout, Kansas City.
220. Would that be in a season? Yeah, that might have been in a season. 22 hat tricks in a
Yeah.
season. That was the days when they played, when we used to play like 38 to 40, 44 games in a regular season back in those days, I believe.
I mean, Nick, you were doing the road games
Yeah.
back then, and I mean, you're doing at least 20 games. I feel like some of the problems with indoor soccer and the history of indoor soccer is the changing of how long these seasons were, and so when you asked that question to me, I mean, yeah, they played 40 games, they played 60 at a time, right? You know, what did they do in that particular year? I'm not quite sure. I was a young pup at that time, but
I know the most they played when I was doing games was 44 in a season.
Correct. And so that's probably what that is there. And so you're looking at half the season scoring a hat trick.
He was an amazing player in traffic. He was like Neto. I mean, we described Neto, how he is so good in close quarters. Clovis was like that. The ball it's like he had Velcro on his laces, and the ball just stuck to his foot.
I mean, 22 goals in a 40-goal season or 44-game season is an impressive stat by itself. 22 hat tricks?
22 hat tricks. It's over 100.
I wouldn't have wanted to negotiate the contract for Simas after that season. I can tell you that. You know how the baseball players, they got a walk year? But that was his walk year?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I was looking back on when the Heat and Comets were getting together. I'd always look back on the Heat's formidable years in the mid-'90s and in the early '90s when the Heat were playoff regulars, and they lose one here, and the Comets get a late tally. Nacho strikes for the Comets, and they've scored 8 tonight, and they've restored a 4-goal lead. The Comets are going to go on and win here, folks.
Yeah, that's your backbreaker right there, Nick.
Just a mistake here.
Heavy touch.
Yep.
Just can't put yourself in that spot. Nacho being Mr. Opportunistic right there. Sees it. He's got the high pressure on it. A heavy touch. He went and just took it.
Nacho's 8th on the season. Simas' record was over 2 seasons, so that's why that makes a little bit more sense here.
All right, so I've got something to point out to you, Nick, and I don't want to be jinxing anything right here, but second half, the Comets have given up 1 goal. Very, very impressive second half so far by the Comets. Defensively, a team has given up 8-9 goals a game on average, I believe, and to give up 1 in the second half, and you have a shutout until, 4 minutes is left in the...
There's Neto with a drive, blocked by Togba. And that kid right there, James Togba, has had himself quite a defensive game. To Anthony Grant. Anthony off the end boards. Grant still there. Grant shoots. He will not be denied. Anthony Grant, the hat trick. It's 9-4.
That's the definition of persistence right there, my friend. I mean, look at this. He's down there with Gonzaga. He's battling early. Goes back in, getting bumped, banged with the Gonzaga. Left foot. Great take, by the way. Had it on the left foot, took it on the left foot. I mean, this battle right here. It's a good lesson for young people out there that are watching the game, Nick. Just don't quit on the play, right? Just don't quit on the play.
Comets are clicking tonight. Best I've seen them all year.
They look good. Hat trick for Mr. Grant. I told you that I thought he was going to be a big-time player for us. I like his game. I like his personality, too. You see he's got a little dance to him, a little Jamaican dance that he's doing right there. You know, the guys, you can sense a little bit more organization as a group right here, and it's obviously, you know, it's good for them to get rewarded for the hard work that they've been putting.
So both teams here will ride out the final 65 seconds. Comets are going to improve to 4-8, and the Heat's going to fall to 5-9. Here's Silva. Good shot there by Hugo. And then DePrima tees one up and fires it over the glass. 51 seconds left as we look at Guerrero Pino.
Guerrero's had a great game, really has. And the situation he's been dealing with his toe, it just speaks to his character.
Well, Hammerski didn't want to do it. That might have been Stevens' lone mistake tonight as he throws it right into the Comets bench.
He's had a great game.
Yeah.
Now, you give up a goal right here. We've just been talking and bragging on everybody, and then you go throw the ball out of bounds, and you just give up another goal for no reason right here. Let's see how the Comets, if they're organized.
Smart move. The Heat bring a sixth attacker back on. Carvalho runs on and takes it and shakes the cage there with a drive. Off of the Heat, it goes out of bounds. 43 seconds left. Pino kicks it long. Francis kicks it off the glass. 35 seconds left. Ricardo Carvalho, part of the all-rookie team in 2015 for the Chicago Mustangs. Now in his second year with the Heat. Here's Neto with a drive. Hammerski makes the save. Quick outlet. Comets get it across the line. Pino. Oh, handball there by Gonzaga. And Ron Corey notices that. And a quick restart there by Kansas City. Pino touches it. And the Comets have reached double digits.
Troy McCarroll makes his debut, gets an assist right there, I believe, Nick, to Guerrero Pino. Good for Pino. He's had a real good game, Nick. Get that finish right there. See, get a little early on the replay there, but you'll see, you know, I mean, it's a foul on Gonzaga for a handball, and you're allowed to play with a quick restart right there, and Gonzaga's just kicking the ball out of the bounds at the fans for whatever particular reason. I'm not quite sure why.
Well, clearly last few seconds clicking off the clock here. That does it. Final score, Comets 10 and the Heat 4.
Stick around for our post-game interview on the field.
Comets improved to 5-8 and the Heat fall to 5-9.
Yeah, you see most of the Heat players shaking hands with the Comets players. There's Mr. Francis. That guy's got a young, promising career. If I'm Mr. Delmont, Mr. Carl Delmont, the owner of the Harrisburg Heat, I'm signing that kid up to a long-term contract. Good-looking player right there.
A lot of credit to the Heat's owner, Carl Delmont, who's brought this franchise back, and they've got some really good players. And the Comets are a young team that has a few senior players like you see right there, Mr. Leo Gibson. Perhaps for the Comets, things are starting to take shape. Perhaps Coach Runfed knows what he's getting, what he's got. Standing by here to talk to our man of the match, Leo Gibson. Here's Jeff Husted.
Let's check in with Jeff Husted with our man of the match. He's got Leo down the field. Jeff.
All right, thanks, Nick. I'm here with our #1 star, Leo Gibson. How does it feel getting this big win?
I think it's great. You know, it's nice for the fans to. It's been a long time since we had one at home, so we're determined to give them one this new year.
So Leo gets your 19th career hat trick. You're 3 short of the KC indoor soccer record. What does that mean to you?
I really don't know because I had no idea, but it's an honor, and it's just the teams that I've played with over the past 7 years. It's been incredible, bunch of incredible players who have helped me become the player that I am today, and so credit to all of them as well.
Great crowd support tonight. Final thoughts to the fans?
Well, we appreciate them. We really admire their patience. We know it's been a difficult season for all of us, but we hope that this is a new beginning. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better than last year.
All right. Leo Gibson, everyone.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Thanks to Leo.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And Leo Gibson, our man of the match, with 3 goals tonight, helping the Comets earn their 4th win of the season. Anthony Grant also with the hat trick tonight. 2 words that he said there, Bud, that I want you to talk about that I hadn't heard him say before. New beginning. I wonder if they've discovered something here with the addition of these players now finally clearing visas, gotten some help in the back. They figured some things out, played their best game of the season, possibly a new beginning for the second half of the season.
Well, the change from last year in the MASL to this year, it's a 22-game season versus 20, so that allows you a little bit more leeway. And as we talked before in the opening, I think everybody on this field for the Comets, including in the organization and the fans and everybody, is fully aware that, you're 4-8. When Cedar Rapids is 6-8, you're chasing the second spot in the Central, okay, just to get into the playoffs because Milwaukee's going to walk away with the division either way. And so what happens from now or from last weekend on, that's the middle of the season, that's your second half right there. That's your new beginning that Mr. Gibson's alluding to. And you take care of business in the second half, the new beginning, the second half of the season, you're going to find yourself in the playoffs.
I want to ask you about 2 players. First off, about Anthony Grant. He's a player who you've held lots of promise for. There's one of his goals right there. He scored 3 tonight. And then, of course, talk about the youngster tonight, Adam James, who got his debut as a member of the Comets.
Well, I think Anthony's feeling really good. He had some visa issues that held him up, and then he got that red card in that game, just kind of when he right when he started to get back going with things. And Anthony works so hard, and he's so happy to be here, and he wants to score goals. He wants to play well. He's a positive influence in the locker room. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. And just seeing what he's able to do, he's getting a hat trick. I mean, his goals per game average is just fantastic. Adam James, I thought, looked good in certain spots. I thought, other times he's kind of running around a little bit. But, hey, it's your first game.
Right.
You're going, your mind's going 100 miles an hour, and the game's going 100,000 miles an hour. I thought Troy McCarroll, when he got in, he looked good. I'll tell you this, man. James Togba for me, right? And he's with our organization. James Togba's all rookie player. Okay, real simple for me. He's MASL all rookie. James Togba is. Kid's played fantastic. And I admire him for coming back out in a second after that, elbow to the head from Lucio Gonzaga.
And finally here, before we say goodnight here, Comets on the road next weekend, 2 big games. At Baltimore, at Florida. What do you expect next weekend?
I'm excited to see the match in Baltimore on that small field, see how the Comets react to it. I mean, they train at the Soccer Dome, and the fields are very similar in size, so I'm interested to see how that goes. And then, the Florida Tropics kind of been up and down a little bit. They have some really good wins against the Blast at home, and then you drop a game against the Ambush, and, it's a big weekend for the Comets.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Very interesting now that the Comets won here tonight. Brian, always great to see you. Thanks for your terrific insight into the game. For my broadcast partner, Brian Budzinski, our director tonight, Brad Zimmerman. Comets winners tonight, 10-4 over the Harrisburg Heat. Comets' next game is next Friday at Baltimore, 6:35. MASL TV will have it. The Comets' next home game is Sunday, January 28th against Cedar Rapids at 5:05. It's my favorite night of the year. It is Star Wars night. So we'll see you here on the 28th when the Comets host the Cedar Rapids Rampage, Sunday, January 28th. For everybody here at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena, I'm Nick Vassos. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.